Okay, 6.1, angles and triangles. I'm going to be going off the notes on this one and not really doing any examples. These are always going to be filled in. These are actually class notes that I have. And as you can see on this note here, this section, it's going to be more vocabulary than anything. I mean, yeah, you're going to have questions in your homework, but it's literally going to be just kind of going back to the notes, what vocabulary they mean. And you're going to see it's going to be almost very little math this time, but more vocabulary. So like I said, just going to make a kind of a quick video, kind of skim through this, but it's really going to be you kind of printing off your notes and kind of looking forward to it, okay? So angles and triangles, okay? Plane geometry is the study of properties of figures in a plane, okay? Coordinate plane. Think of like, you'll be able to see that as you kind of progress through in your mathematical studies. The three most basic ideas in plane geometry are the point, line, and the plane. These terms are considered so fundamental that they're simply called undefined terms. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to kind of just go through here, kind of see what everything's all about, kind of point out some things. Okay, notice this first section. Here's your point, line, and plane. Notice no real definitions. They're saying the word definition down here, but no real definition. But this is what they're talking about here. There's a point, there's a line, and then there's a plane. This kind of makes a shape. Okay, and then we've got rays and angles. Okay, rays, it starts at a point, it shoots off, and it'll kind of keep going to infinity. Okay, angle, here's this right here, and then notice where they kind of meet up. This is called the vertex. Okay, gonna be very important later on. Okay, and this is how we would read an angle. They put this little angle symbol here, and then we start A, always middle here, and B with the vertex at O. Okay, kind of continue on here, labeling angles. Okay, here we are using 3 capital letters with the vertex as the middle letter, using single letters, okay, and then using the single capital letter at the vertex. Okay, those are the 3 common ways you're going to see it. Okay, don't let that weigh too heavy on your mind right now. Just kind of let that be known that whenever you see that little symbol there, it's not something weird. You just know this is stating an angle, some sort of angle. Okay. Let's continue on here. And this is degrees. This is something we're going to really kind of get into a little bit. Helps out a little bit. Protractor shows like a 5 degree. This only goes to 180, but you could imagine a circle. That's going to say a circle is 360, and you could keep going around the degrees with the vertex being at the 0. So here we would have an angle of A0 or AOB. Okay, and I could put this at any point, pull this line A up at any point here, and then I have an angle. I could even pull the B up and the A up and have a weird angle in here, and I would just have to subtract, like say if I had the point going from 70 to 50, well then I know I had just a 20 degree angle. And you can see that more in this one right here. Notice from here to here we have a 50 degree angle, but from here to here we have a 90. But notice from C to B, okay, so this would be C0B, which they don't have listed down here. Notice that's just a 30 degree angle there because I take the 90, subtract 50, and I know that right here, that's a 30 degree angle. So that's kind of how angles work on a protractor. Like I said, you're gonna get more into that later on. Okay, here are some very important definitions. Acute angles are less than 90. Okay, start at 0, less than 90. Right angles are always 90, and you'll see me draw these in class. Okay, I'm not going to be able to draw things perfectly, so I'll always put that little square there saying, this is a 90 degree, trust me. Okay, angles are above 90, but not equal to 90, and then less than 180, and then a straight line is always 180 degrees. Okay. Complementary and supplementary. Okay, complementary angle just means the sum of the two angles equals 90. Supplementary means 180. Vertical angles are congruent. That is, vertical angles have the same measure. Note in figure 5, 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 are congruent angles. Let's see, did I get figure 4 here? Maybe I did. No, I didn't on this one. But we'll be able to I'm going to show you plenty of those. 2 angles are adjacent if they have a common side. And then we got parallel lines, perpendicular lines. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be done. We'll see the examples in Hawks. Parallel lines and transversal. Okay, if 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the following 2 statements are true. Corresponding angles are congruent, and alternating interior angles are congruent. And this one I have filled out here. This is your transversal line right here. It kind of cuts through everybody. Think of these like streets. And notice what it's saying here is, let's kind of scroll back up just a little bit here. Corresponding angles are congruent and all interior angles are congruent. Basically what's shown here is like, look, this angle is always going to match that angle. This angle matches that. And so it turns, when it says label all these angles, all you need to be done is given one angle, and then you can go through the whole thing. And you can kind of do the same thing here, except notice we've got complementary angles happening. And then here we are. Triangles classified by sides. Okay, so notice here, no two sides have equal length, so we've got one side, two sides, three sides. Here, at least two sides have equal length. That's how come these two little lines there. That just means that these sides are the same. And then equilateral, all sides are the same. So that's how things are going to kind of work through this. Here we are, acute, right, and obtuse. We're going to do a lot with right angles, okay, especially in this class. Acute and obtuse we'll use, but those you'll study more in a way later math class, and they actually get very, very interesting later on. So, but right triangles, a lot of things. There's a whole class devoted around basically triangles in general, as you can tell just by looking at all the definitions there is just in this class alone. So, like I said, we'll do a lot in our examples and in class. So.